I'm Sarita Clarkson. I'm from the payroll department. I'm going to talk to you today about payroll, your paycheck stub, and the escrow. Before I get started, I want to do a short explanation. Basically, escrow works like your house payment and your mortgage and your insurance. You pay your mortgage company, and some of it goes into escrow for your insurance and for your taxes. It works the same way here. You pay money into escrow to provide a paycheck for the spring, the winter, and the summertime, okay? It's just we do it on a percentage rather than taking your whole salary and dividing it by 26, okay? So just keep that in mind when we go through explaining what escrow is, okay? And first, I'm gonna tell you, understanding escrow. Kentucky Revised Statute 160.291 states, the gross salary received on each pay date will be an amount equal to the school employee's annual salary divided by the number of pay dates. This law was established to help provide equal paychecks to school board employees throughout the work year, including times when employees do not work all 10 days in a pay period, such as Thanksgiving, winter break, spring break, and summer break. Escrow is paid to the employees for the non-work day to provide an equal paycheck. So basically, you come back to work and it's the last day of the pay period, so you've worked one day, we're gonna pay you 10, because those other 9 days is out of escrow, okay? In a 12-month period of time, there are 260 weekdays, Monday through Friday. The contract work year for many JCPS employees only spans the 10-month period of time school is in session. Therefore, most JCPS employees work less than the 260 contract days. Escrow percentages are used to spread the employee's base contract over the 260 days. 26 pay periods times 10 work days per pay period, okay? And this is how we calculate it. Each employee's escrow percentage is calculated using the employee's number of contract days. The number of contract days is divided by 260 to obtain the percentage. The following reflects the escrow percentage for an employee who works 187 contract days per year. So the base contract is 187. We divide that by 260, and we get 71.92%. That's the percentage that we're gonna pay you for all non-work days, okay? We take that percentage, the 71.92, we subtract it from 100, and the 28.08% is what comes out for every day that you work, okay? So let's say you work 10 days. We're gonna take 28.08% out of those 10 days. Let's say you work 5 days. We're gonna pay you 71.92% on 5 days, but we're gonna take out 28.08% on the 5 days that you actually worked, okay? The detailed pay information, the base pay earned, and this is an example on an hourly employee. So basically you would see your daily rate on your paycheck stub, but it would be the number of hours worked or days times your rate, and that's what goes up in by base pay and rate. And the units is always the number of days that you physically worked, okay? Then you've got down at the bottom, what we did was this particular person worked 1 day, because 6.5 hours is like 1 day. So they worked 1 day times their hourly rate times the takeout percentage. So we deducted $27.86 on that 1 hour that they worked, okay? The escrow percentage is the 9 days they didn't work times 6.5 hours per day that they're scheduled to work times their hourly rate times the 71.92% payback that's added to the check. So when you subtract the difference, you're gonna get $614.42. Does that make sense? Okay. And at the bottom here, you'll see it says current escrow, $614.42, and year-to-date escrow reflects the difference. So did I say that backwards? No. Year-to-date is a negative $614.42 because we've advanced you 9 days. So you're gonna start off in the negative at the beginning of the school year, okay? But you'll see at the top, your amount is $713.64 because you truly did work an hour or 1 day. So that's added to the $614, okay? So your pay basically should be the same gross amount, give or take a penny, on rounding every 2 weeks, as long as you don't miss any time. Let's see. To determine your escrow pay, in the pamphlet that I gave you, there's this page in it, and this is basically for you to take home and try to figure it out yourself, because most people, they're different. Everybody has different days, works different hours, but you put your base contract. I think you said you work 240, so you would put 240 and divide that by 260 to get your percentage as far as your payback. Then you would subtract that from 100, and then you would take the number of contract days and hourly rate and minus from the deduction to get your payback percentage. Did I say that backwards? I'm sorry. The 100% minus the escrow payback equals that percentage. So basically what I explained earlier, you're just going to use your numbers in the blanks, okay? This is just for you to take home and try to get an estimate of what your check would look like. There are several reasons why your escrow would be short. In order for employees to have a sufficient escrow balance to cover non-work days, the employees must be paid for all contract work hours or days in the school year. Escrow is deducted from base contract hours paid. This includes paid leave time. So any sick or personal days that you take, those are considered paid leave. We will deduct escrow from them, okay? So you're covered as far as escrow is concerned. If you're a late hire, let me go back. So I want to make sure I got everything on that one. Okay. If you're a late hire, the employee begins work after the start of the contract year. Therefore, the employee's escrow balance may be short because escrow was not deducted from the missed or unpaid contract days. And basically, you came back in July, right? No, when do you come back?
I started in May.
No, for the new school year.
For the new school year, July.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, they didn't hire you in your position until August 1. So that first month, you didn't pay escrow. That means you would be a month short at the end, okay? Unpaid leave. Escrow is deducted from every contract hour or day worked. When employees take unpaid leave, they miss escrow deductions, causing a shortage in their balance. The following is an example of an hourly paid employee who did not work 23.75 of his scheduled contract hours. He will be short $152.31 in his escrow pay, since escrow was not withheld from these scheduled hours. And basically that shows it, the pay date, scheduled work days, scheduled work hours, what they actually were paid on across. And then you'll see the negative 23.75 because that person was docked. So say for instance, you go on family leave. So those are unpaid days for you. So those dock days, those are days that you will be short at the end, okay? Workers' compensation. When an employee is out on approved workers' comp sick days, which JCPS coordinates with workers' comp pay, will have escrow withheld. However, checks received from the workers' comp vendor will not have escrow withheld. This may cause employees to be short in their escrow balance. And basically that's because risk management is not required to deduct escrow on the pay that you receive for workers' comp. We're required on the sick days, but they're not required on their half. So you'll be short according to that, if you're out on workers' comp. Rate change. An employee may receive a mid-year rate change due to a reassignment or change in rank. This rate change may cause a perceived shortage in the employee's summer escrow pay. In this situation, the employee's contract pay rate has increased mid-year. However, the employee has deposited into his escrow account at the lower rate of pay for the first part of the year. The employee's summer escrow payments will be based on his new higher rate of pay. Since he was not paid this higher rate all year, he will not have sufficient escrow balance at the end of the school year to provide for full summer escrow checks at the new higher rate of pay. Does that make sense? Basically, you were making $10 a day, and you got a rank change, so now you're making $20 a day. But for 30 days, you didn't make $20 a day. So those 30 days, there's going to be a difference in pay at the end for the summer of $10, for each day on your escrow, okay? Contract day change basically works the same way. Escrow percentages are based on spreading the number of contract days over 260 days. A mid-year change in contract days may cause a shortage in summer escrow pay because the employee's escrow percentage has changed. And basically, it works as anything that changes your rate from the beginning and it doesn't go back to the beginning of the year, it's going to affect your escrow one way or another, up or down, okay? So if you have a decrease in pay, you're going to have a little bit more escrow at the end. If you have an increase mid-year, you're going to be short a little bit at the end because of the difference. And same thing, if you go from 240 to 187, naturally you're going to actually have more. But if you go 187 to 240 mid-year, you're going to be short, okay? Every full-time employee is assigned a working calendar. The contract days in each working calendar are spread over 26 pay dates or 260 days. If the employee's working calendar is modified to start in a later pay period the following school year, this will cause the employee to have a gap between the last summer escrow paycheck and the first paycheck of the new school year. This is due to the contract work year beginning beyond the 26 pay period. And basically this happened to us, I guess about a year ago, year and a half, about 2 years ago. They changed the school calendars and they started everybody later than the year before, which meant everybody was out longer, so that was one check they were short, okay? So, and that's pretty much out of payroll's hands. I mean, that's a board decision. Special note, employees must have a sufficient escrow balance to provide for payment of non-work days during breaks such as Thanksgiving, winter, spring, and summer. Escrow balances cannot fall below zero when payment for these non-work days is processed. In this situation, employees will receive escrow pay for the full calculated escrow pay amount for the pay period or the employee's positive escrow balance, whichever is less. So basically, if you don't start until September or October, and when a break comes, you don't have enough escrow to cover the full 9 days that you're off. So let's say you only have $100 in your escrow. We're gonna pay you the holiday and the $100. We're not gonna let you go negative all that money that late in the school year, is basically what that's saying, okay? But if you have enough to cover the 9 days, we'll pay it to you. And then this is a detailed explanation of your paycheck stub. And we pretty much went over the first part, but underneath base pay where you see extra service, anytime you do anything that you're paid for besides your regular base pay, you will see a line underneath it. So for like parent-teacher conference, you'll see PTC. Startup pay, you'll see startup. You might do some professional development, you'll see PD. Anything that you get that's outside of base pay will be listed, and none of those items are included when calculating escrow. It's only calculated on your base pay, okay? At the bottom, we explained escrow, your current escrow deduction and your year-to-date. Look at that every paycheck, just so you know where your escrow balance is, so you're not shocked or surprised at no given time, okay? In the middle section where it says deductions, those are your health, your voluntary deductions, health, dental, vision, CERS. This is based on a classified. It's your retirement. Yours is going to say KTRS, I think. Your KTRS, right? Okay. Yours is going to say KTRS. JCA ESP is a union. Then, you know, this person has a credit union. Direct deposit, that's how much we actually send to your bank account, which should always match your current net pay at the bottom far right. Those two numbers should always match. The next column over are your mandatory taxes, FICA, Med, federal, state, occupational. At the bottom, next to escrow, the accrual type are your sick, personal, and emergency. You will always see your balance. If you use a day on a particular paycheck stub, it will be in the current use section, okay? The next section is your withholding allowances. This is what you've chosen as far as your federal and state exemptions. So on this particular stub, the person is claiming single and 2 exemptions with no extra pay on federal, and the same on the state. Anytime you make a change to that, it will reflect on the next paycheck stub, okay? And keep in mind with the extra federal and state, if you provide services in the summertime and get paid for it, those summer pays are ran separately than your regular summer checks. That extra money is going to come out of both, because our system can't differentiate that we've already deducted it from one, so it's going to come out of both. okay? And then the last section is the current pay, and then minus total deductions, and then your net pay, okay? The last page, well, next to the last page is just some notes. JCPS Payroll Department communicates frequently with employees via your JCPS email account. This includes the delivery of your pay stubs, W-2s, and other important information. For help logging onto your email account, please contact the help desk at 485-3552. Direct deposit is mandatory for all JCPS employees and is a condition of employment. Your net pay will be deposited to your bank account on the morning of each pay date. Pay stubs are generally delivered via your JCPS email account on the Wednesday before the pay date. The password to access your electronic pay stub is the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. And you're welcome to change your banking information anytime you need to. We do have a cutoff period. Normally, we ask that you turn in any changes to your bank account no later than Monday after payday, because we start running payroll again on Tuesday. If you get it into us on Monday, you're guaranteed to have it changed with the next check. After Monday, it might get changed. It might be 2 paychecks later, okay? Employee self-service. Employees may access pay stubs, W-2s, leave balances, and other employment information via the employee self-service website. Employees will also enroll in JCPS sponsored benefits via the ESS website during the annual open enrollment period. Your username to access ESS is your 6-digit employee ID number located on your pay stub, and it's in the top left corner at the very beginning of your paycheck stub. For help logging on to the ESS website, please contact the help desk at 485-3552. And these are our important websites. The first one is the ESS website. The second one is our actual payroll website, and it also has a detailed explanation for escrow on it. And then we have payroll forms, your W-4s, your K-4s, direct deposit, those types of things. That's the link to that as well. And then the last page is the pay period begin date, the pay period end date, and the pay date for the whole entire school year. You have any questions? Okay. No questions at all about escrow? Okay. Thank you, and welcome to JCPS.